Is the catchphrase in the CFL this season. The first-year Las Vegas Posse are led by rookie quarterback Anthony Calvillo. He runs a gambling offense that's always looking for the big play and has the speed to beat you deep at any time. 1994 has been a year filled with ups for the Posse, but they've also felt the pains of a debut season. In Baltimore, they're going crazy about their expansion team. The CFLs are 9-4 and sit atop the Eastern Conference. In a first year to remember, they are among league leaders in offense and defense and boast the league's leading rusher in running back Mike Pringle. Stay tuned because the Expansion Bowl is next on The Deuce. From Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, it's East versus West in Week 14 as the Las Vegas Posse come to town to face the Eastern Division leading CFL. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our coverage of the Canadian Football League on ESPN2. I'm Gus Johnson. They're the surprise team in the CFL. Owner Jim Sparrows and head coach Don Matthews have given the great city of Baltimore a quality product. That's because the expansion CFLs have become only the 8th true franchise in the history of the Big Four professional sports to qualify for the playoffs during their initial season. But they don't want to stop there. They would like to win today to become the first team to host a playoff game in their first year in the CFL. Joining me now, my broadcast partner, James Curry. And James, when you look at this Baltimore squad, the first thing you see is their offense, led by running back Mike Pringle.
Mike Pringle was really a surprise at the start of the season, Gus. He came over in a trade from Sacramento, and he's leading the CFL in rushing thus far this season, which has been a big plus. Has helped keep their offense well balanced, and he has that huge offensive line in front of him to pave the way.
For Las Vegas, they're explosive and they are young. They're led by quarterback Anthony Calvillo, but this team has to work on its patience.
A team like the city, it gambles a lot. It likes to go deep. They're not patient. It's a young group. They don't know how to have a ball control offense yet. Check down to the backs coming out of the backfield. Take what the defense allows for them to take. They gamble just a little too much. If they can learn patience, they can be a more rounded offense.
Now, quite often, we've told you about how important the kicking game is here in the Canadian Football League. And recently, we caught up with two guys that want to take it one step further.
How you doing? My name's Josh Miller. I'm with the Baltimore CFL. Well, we don't have a name, but we are 9-4. Over my left shoulder is a gentleman which we're all familiar with. His name is Donald Ikwebwike. An interesting young man. Donald, come here. I'd like to have a word with you. Welcome to the 19-yard line.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, man.
Let me ask you a question. Let me also set the mood. You got released from the team. You're back now. You're on fire. You're 49 yards out. Your first kick back. It's pouring rain. Crowd of 40,000 is chanting your name. What goes through your mind?
Well, Joshua, thanks very much for the compliments. I just want to ask you something. Do you really consider yourself an athlete or a reporter? I don't consider you an athlete, you know. I mean, you're just a punter. You don't do nothing but sit on the sideline and come in once or twice, you know, during the game. Do you consider yourself an athlete?
You know what we should do right now on the air? You want to have a sprinting race? This will end all.
We'll have a game, you know, in a few hours, so we might want to do it next time. You know, kickers are better athletes.
There you go. Let's talk about the kickers. Then who?
Kickers are better athletes than
Let's
punters.
go down the list. Well, let's keep punters out. What about quarterbacks? We better athletes than quarterbacks?
Well, you know, they are. You gotta understand quarterbacks, and they are like babies, man. The coaches don't let the big guys hit them.
That's a fine point.
Red jersey and all
that's
that.
a fine point.
And here we are, kickers. You know, they can hit us. You know, I think that's ridiculous. I mean, quarterbacks should get hit during practice too.
So it's easy enough to say we're better athletes than QBs.
I would say that.
Running backs.
Let's stay away from running backs.
I'm trying to bring up the popularity of kickers. A lot of people think we're soft. A lot of people think we're unathletic. And besides you coming straight out on national TV on the Deuce saying that punters aren't, I like to kind of toot my own horn, if I may. I was a punter not long ago. Got a bad snap in a game, picked it up, looked for his options, looked right, looked left, shook a couple tackles, threw it 80 yards for a touchdown. Now that is an athlete. Can you deny that, Iggy?
I mean, if you can do that, I can't take that away from you. But I must have missed that game.
Well, it wasn't really me. I just saw it on TV. But it was a punter, and he does what I do. With the game on the line, what goes through your head? Because I'll tell you what goes through mine. I think of, if I missed this, if I was in your situation, my life was over. That can't be going through your head. That's not healthy. That's why I'm not place kicking. I'm a punter. What do you go through? What goes through your head?
I think you're a smart guy, taking to that job, Kickers, that's like a nightmare right there. That's a kicker's nightmare.
Yeah.
And what I like to think is two things can happen. You can either miss it or make it.
Fine point.
So go kick it.
Atta boy. Thank you for coming to the 19-yard line. Take care. Enjoy the game, my friend.
I'll see you in the game.
All right. Live from the Deuce, I'm signing off. Ciao. Thank you, Josh and Donald. And I think because of you guys, we will look at the kicking game differently from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. And there's your coach for Las Vegas, Ron Meyer. His first year was 27-8 as a college coach at UNLV, 34-32-1 at SMU, and the AFC Coach of the Year in '88 for the Indianapolis Colts. On the other side, Don Matthews, the 6th winningest coach in CFL history, the 2nd fastest coach to win 100 games. He's been coaching in this league for 17 years. And there's your coin toss. Vegas will receive. We're getting ready to play football here from Memorial Stadium. These two teams will definitely give you a good matchup.
Well, a very important game for both teams. When you look at it, Gus, Vegas is struggling, trying to find some rhythm and hope to get some respectability here in the latter part of the season. And Baltimore is trying to sew up a home field playoff advantage throughout the playoffs.
And take a look at the standings in the CFL's West. Calgary on top, followed by BC and Edmonton. Saskatchewan, Sacramento, and Las Vegas playing in the toughest division in the Canadian Football League at 5-8.
When you look at the East right here, you see the logjam at the top with Baltimore and Winnipeg, but Toronto and Ottawa fighting it out for 3rd and 4th place respectively, and Hamilton still has a chance to squeak in the back door and get into the playoffs.
Donald Igwebuike, the kicker for Baltimore, played with both the Minnesota Vikings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the National Football League and won the national championship with owner Jim Sparrows while playing at Clemson University. And getting ready for the kickoff here, you have to be impressed with the crowd here in Baltimore. 35,000 expected. They've gone over 250,000 in attendance this year, and they've got a good crowd on hand for this one.
Well, a city that just embraced the team. They had been without football here in Baltimore for 10 years on the professional level, and when Jim Sparrows brought a CFL team in here, they finally had a team that they could call their own once again, once the coach had left and gone to Indianapolis.
Donald Igwebuike kicking, David Hollis and James Bullock back deep for the Posse. And this is Bullock.
Baltimore has been a very opportunistic team when it comes to turnovers this year, and we see right here, right off the stop, Smith with a great hit on Bullock on the return. He puts the helmet right on the football, and Baltimore, hustling on the cover team, goes down and gets the big turnover at the 23-yard line to start the game.
So the Baltimore offense comes onto the football field. They're led by quarterback Tracy Ham, and his 8th season out of Georgia Southern has thrown for over 3,000 yards so far this year, but surprisingly only 9 interceptions on first down. Handoff. This is Mike Pringle going straight ahead. Take a look now at the Baltimore offense.
Sharp Ordonez early, the twins at left guard and center there along with Ballard and Fort. We see Ham, Pringle, and Tui Pelotu in the backfield, along with the receiving core of Carr, Armstrong, Bills, and Wilson.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5 from the 18-yard line. CFL sent 3 receivers to the near side. Tracy Ham calling out the plays at the line of scrimmage. the year on their second play from scrimmage.
Chris Armstrong and Tracy Ham are old teammates when they played in Edmonton. Chris Armstrong was released by the Las Vegas Posse back during the preseason. And right here we get a look at it. Ham in the shotgun, no pressure up front from this Posse defensive front. Armstrong on an out route, gets the corner to the end zone. Perfect strike by Ham for the touchdown.
Chris Armstrong, third year out of Fayetteville State in the little CIAA, catches his 14th touchdown pass from Tracy Ham. And Donald Igwebuike makes it a 7-0 ball game. We're just underway here from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, and we get our first touchdown.
Right here, we get Armstrong. He's going to drive it off, break it to the corner, and the coverage just can't get there in time. And a big strike by Tracy Ham early. And this is the key to it right here. The no pressure up front. Armstrong squares it off, goes to the corner, touchdown Baltimore.
And this is a football team. The Baltimore CFLs have prided themselves on putting the ball in the end zone. They've had a lot of success catching the football. Chris Armstrong, Sean Beals, Walter Wilson, and Robert Clark, their core of receivers, have done a very good job so far.
Well, we see Steve Barano, the offensive coordinator, conferring with his quarterback, Tracy Ham, and backup quarterback, John Kajimi, there, discussing what they saw on that play to make it so successful coming out to start the game. And Baltimore has taken advantage of the turnovers early, and Las Vegas has their back up against the wall.
Donald Igwebuike set to kick off again, 13:37. Remaining in the first quarter, 7-0 is your score. From the 20-yard line, James Hill goes down close to the 40. Take a look now at your Vegas offense.
Quarterback Anthony Calvillo coming onto the field in his first chance to take a snap, and down 7-0. Not a position that you want to start the game at when you're the quarterback.
Anthony Calvillo, rookie. One of the more explosive runners in the Canadian Football League, and with the kind of talent he has a bright future in the league. On first down, they're going to keep it on the ground. This is John Volpe out of Stanford.
John Volpe on the run.
Gets close to 2 yards. The offense for the Las Vegas Posse.
Ben Jefferson, the big right offensive tackle, 6'9", 340 pounds, one of the biggest players in football. Curtis Mayfield, their leading receiver, is leading the second in the CFL in touchdown receptions this year. And we got our backfield of Volpe, Calvillo, along with Garrett at the fullback.
Second down and 9, gain of 1 on the last play from the 40. They keep it on the ground. Volpe swings it outside and gets close to the first down marker.
Looks like he's going to be spotted just a little bit short, Gus. This is one of the things that Vegas hasn't been able to do consistently this year, is develop a running game. Coming out running on their first 2 downs, look like they're going to be about a half yard short of the first down marker.
John Volpe was a star at Stanford University in the Pac-10. His senior season rushed for 1,600 yards. And while they're taking the measurement, give you a glance at the defensive lineup for Baltimore.
Well, Baltimore, Alfred Payton was an all-star last year with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and a big plus for this Baltimore defense. Ken Benson, also the leading tackler in the CFL as the Toronto Argonaut last year in his first game after a leg injury. Irvin Smith, the key defender in the secondary at the right cornerback position. And Vegas is going to go for it here on 3rd and short. It's very critical, though. They need to take this gamble to keep this drive alive.
Posse come out, gambling early, and Calvillo goes straight ahead for the first down. And you see a lot of times in the Canadian Football League going for it on short yardage situation because of the alignment of the defense.
It's really a safe call, Gus, because the defensive line has to give the offense a yard from the line of scrimmage. We see Coach Ron Meyer right here studying his plate chart right there. But it's just a wedge blocking up front. You get that big offensive line moving ahead. The quarterback just sneaks right in underneath it. First down for the Posse at the 50.
This one incomplete, intended for Curtis Mayfield, the rookie receiver out of Oklahoma State.
Curtis Mayfield, big play guy for him this year with the 53 receptions for over 1,000 yards coming into this game. And right there you can see Calvillo wasn't that comfortable in the pocket. He let that one go high over Mayfield's head.
Anthony Calvillo, 118 of 247 for 1,952 yards this year, 2nd and 10. Firing underneath and has it complete. Complete pass for Anthony Calvillo. Michael Stevens with the reception.
Michael Stevens was a late addition to the Las Vegas lineup. Calvillo sitting right straight in the pocket. He guns it over the middle. Stevens on a crossing route makes a nice reception. He goes high for the ball, extends his arm. Not going down with the pressure of the Baltimore defense. They had to just blow it dead at that point, but a big first down for Las Vegas.
15-yard pickup for Mike Stevens. Out of Reno, he was the 3rd leading receiver in the country in 1993. First down. Calvillo pumps. Goes the other way, and it's complete. Good-looking play to Stevens again.
When you speak about Stevens coming out of University of Nevada, Reno, he and Anthony Calvillo faced each other their junior and senior seasons in college. But Calvillo right there, his offensive line doing a good job of giving him time. That's been one of the sore spots for them all year long. They've had a numerous amount of injuries. They've had players rotating in and out, and they just haven't had that cohesiveness up front yet.
19-yard gain, first down. This is Volpe. Doesn't go very far. Malcolm Goodwin with the tackle.
John Volpe, twice 1,000-yard rusher in the CFL. He's a former member of the BC Lions, and coming over here, he was a late cut by the Pittsburgh Steelers in training camp, and he was a welcome addition to the Las Vegas Posse.
Brings up a 2nd down situation for the Posse, 8 yards to go. Calvillo going into the end zone, incomplete.
Once again, Las Vegas showing its hand that it's not patient. They had an opportunity to try to go for the first down, yet he wanted to gamble and get it all and go into the end zone. The pressure right here coming from Baltimore from the outside, Alfred Payton along with O.J. Brigant, made Calvillo throw the ball a little sooner than what he wanted to, and it went high over his receiver's head.
Robert Claiborne, the intended receiver. That brings in the kicking unit. Carlos Huerta drills it. With 9 minutes, 16 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. Carlos Huerta's field goal makes it a 7-3 Baltimore lead. The CFL on ESPN2 is brought to you by the Discover card. It pays to discover. And by Midas. The Midas way. The way it should be. Back at Memorial Stadium, where a field goal by Carlos Huerta, 16-yarder, makes it a 7-3 ball game. The Baltimore CFL is on top of the Posse. And the fans here know that this is a tough place to play for opposing teams at Memorial Stadium. They get better crowds here than anywhere else in the Canadian Football League.
The world's largest outdoor insane asylum. You're feeling home, Gus.
Carlos Huerta, the rookie kicker out of Miami, delivers at the 20-yard line. Mike Pringle goes out of bounds at the 42.
Now, Pringle right now is going to be the key that Vegas has to stop in this drive right here. He came out on the first handoff and picked up 5 yards, but if you allow him to churn out 5 and 6 yards to carry, he will make it a long night for your offense, for your defense.
13-yard return for Mike Pringle, and that brings Tracy Ham onto the football field. Played for Kirk Russell at Georgia Southern, and he put up good numbers there, and he's putting up good numbers here in his 8th year. 1st and 10 from the 38. Play action. Wide open receiver, Sean Beals with the reception inside Vegas territory.
Right now, Vegas doesn't seem to have a clue what Baltimore is doing offensively. Look at the trips right here. Beals is the receiver up top, just running a straight seam route. The safety lets him go. Beals drops into the end of the secondary right there and picks up a nice reception down to the 43-yard line.
24-yard reception for Sean Beals, fourth-year player out of Idaho State. He was first-team All-Big Sky Conference his senior season. First and 10 from the 43. Ham out of the shotgun. Quick strike. This one broken up at the last minute. Al Jordan coming up to make the knockdown.
Nice read on the play by Jordan from his halfback position. As Clark broke that out on just a simple squat route, Jordan read it, closed quickly, was able to bat that one away. If he'd have kept his eyes on the ball, he might have had 6.
Al Jordan, 11th knockdown of the season.
The Baltimore bench right there, the defensive coaching staff going over assignments, what to expect the next time they're on the field.
Second down. Pressure. Tracy Ham gets it off, but it's incomplete. Intended for Chris Armstrong, and for the first time, we get to see the very vocal Josh Miller come onto the football field and punt it away.
Well, that time Las Vegas had the big rush from Steven Anderson up front. He came through freely, and he got in on Tracy Ham, and Tracy did all he could to get that one away.
Josh Miller, rookie, averaging 43.6 yards per punt. He's out of Arizona. And back deep for the Posse, David Hollis. Hollis averaging 16.3 yards per return. This one angled toward the near sideline. Hollis downs it in the end zone, and that is a single point in the CFL. Baltimore gets on the board again. Their 8th point of the game. They lead it 8-3.
The Vegas offensive line that did a fine job on that opening drive to get the 3 points on the field goal. Just the inexperience of quarterback Anthony Cavallo, once they got down close in the red zone, became a little impatient and tried to force a deep pass into the end zone where Carlos Huerta had to come onto the field and settle for the field goal.
Last week, Calvillo, 4 of 11 for 49 yards versus Calgary, and he was replaced by Preston Jones. But Ron Meyer going with the young quarterback this week, and he right now is 2 for 4, 36 yards.
And those receptions both to his slot back, Michael Stevens.
Calvillo will start. First down and 10 from the 36. Play action. Complete. Prince Wembley gets out of bounds in Baltimore territory at the 53.
A good safe play call that time by Cavillo. A safe check down to the flat where Prince Wembley. You'll see it right here with the play fake to Volpe. Wembley sitting out in the flat, just drug out the flat. Picked up a nice safe pass, ran with the ball after making the reception, picking up the first down to the 53-yard line.
20-yard gain. They give it to Volpe. And Volpe gets over the 50, down at the 49. O.J. Brigance with the tackle.
This is a very aggressive Baltimore front four. They're very active. They like to do a lot of stunning up front, slanting into the gaps, and Volpe that time was able to pick up 3 on first down.
Second down, 7 yards to go. They send Robert Claiborne, the receiver, to the near side of the field. Curtis Mayfield at the top of your screen. Going up top for Mayfield. He's locked up in one-on-one coverage, and it's incomplete. Good defense by Ken Watson. Well, join Susie Kobler, Stuart Scott, and Bill Tito with Hank Goldberg, Sports Night football analyst, for a full hour updating you on all the day's football college action. For all the scores, updates, interviews, and features on college football, tune in on Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on The Deuce.
We get a shot on this last play of Curtis Mayfield with Anthony. One-on-one, he's locked up. Couldn't get off the line of scrimmage.
Robbie Keane comes in the punt, averaging 42 yards per punt. This one, end over end. Lester Smith fields it on the run and gets to the 25.
Robbie Keane was the punter for the Sacramento Gold Miners last year. He was released early in the season and picked up by Las Vegas. He helped shore up their kicking game in coming over.
Pickinger, everything you need to do it yourself.
So Baltimore, Tracy Ham will get another opportunity from the 25, first down and 10. And look at the numbers that he's put up. Second overall in passing with 21 touchdowns on the year.
But only the 9 interceptions, Gus, is the key.
Start out of the I formation. This is Pringle. Off tackle. And he's met by two Las Vegas Posse members. Tim Brody with the tackle.
Well, it seems like it's going to be tough sledding tonight for Mike Pringle as he tries a slant off the left side of that offensive formation. But right there, you see the Posse defenders coming up, making a sure, solid tackle right at the line of scrimmage.
Mike Pringle, over 2,000 all-purpose yards. Very effective out of the backfield, catching the football on second down. This one intercepted. Tim Brody, and he's tackled by Pringle.
Picked off by Tim Brody.
Tim Brody, his first interception of the year, and we get our second turnover of the ball game.
Just a poorly underthrown pass by quarterback Tracy Ham, but Brody did a great job of dropping back from his middle linebacker position. Right here you see Ham sitting back, a low snap in the shotgun. He just let this one go out of his arm very easily right there, but Brody with the nice drop from the middle linebacker position, picking that pass off. Vegas has the ball at the 35-yard line.
35-yard line, first and 10, Las Vegas.
Vegas playing with the short field on this possession from the 35. Volpe, the lone setback. Calvillo trying to find a seam underneath. It's incomplete. Threw that one, James, in the double coverage.
And once again, the impatience of the young, inexperienced quarterback, wanting to go for it all on first down after the turnover. You'll see right here, throwing over Garrett's head. Brooks coming over from the free safety position to make sure he did make the reception.
Second down and 10 from the 35. We're at the end of the first half of play. Baltimore will go into halftime leading this ball game 15-9. We'll stay with us because coming up next, we'll have our halftime activities where our coverage continues on the Deuce. Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, where your halftime score, the Baltimore CFLs lead the Las Vegas Posse 15-9. This is week 14 in the CFL, and teams are fighting for playoff position. Our James Curry decided to take a look and clear up the picture.
It's mid-October, and the CFL playoff race is really heating up. In the East, it's come down to a two-horse race between the Baltimore CFL and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. In Baltimore, the horses on the run. Behind the rushing of Mike Pringle, the CFL sit atop the Eastern Conference. In only their first year in the league, the special team success has helped the team clinch a playoff spot. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers have also clinched the trip to the postseason. Running back Blaze Bryant has carried a hurting offense. And they get injured quarterback Matt Dunnigan back in 2 weeks. Toronto goes as Pinball Clemens goes, and the Argos currently sit in third place with a 5-8 record. In Ottawa, things have been tough, but a tough-hitting defense had the Rough Riders in the playoff race. The Hamilton Tiger Cats are one game behind Ottawa, and at 3-10, they still have a chance to advance to the postseason. Things have been nothing but trouble in Shreveport, where the Pirates are 0-13 in their inaugural season. But they have nowhere to go but up. In the Western Division, we have a three-team logjam at the top. We have the Calgary Stampeders, BC Lions, and last year's Grey Cup winner, Edmonton Eskimos. There's lots to cheer about in Calgary. The Stampeders are led by three-time CFL MVP Doug Flutie. Their hard-hitting defense is the best in the league. The Stamps are 11-2. BC is often running behind Corey Philpott. His 1,000 yards combined with the ball-hawking defense has made the Lions at 9-3-1 the biggest surprise in the league. The Giz is the Wiz in Edmonton, where an ever-dangerous Gizmo Williams and a stingy defense has the Eskimos at 9-4. They look to surpass BC and host a playoff game. In Saskatchewan, the Rough Riders hope to improve on a 7-6 record and hang on to the fourth and final playoff spot in the West. In Sacramento, the Gold Miners are in their second year in the CFL and have suffered at times, but the Miners have showed toughness and are only a half game out of the playoffs at 6-1. The CFL gambled with expansion in Las Vegas, and the Posse have proved to be electrifying. But unfortunately for Ron Meyer at 5-8, Vegas is in the basement in the West. 4 teams from each conference will make the postseason, and no matter what, there's sure to be fireworks in November.
Well, after trailing early, the Baltimore CFLs are puffing out their chests. They're on top of Vegas 15-9 at halftime. Memorial Stadium in the beautiful city of Baltimore, where their CFLs lead the Posse 15-9. And welcome back to our halftime activities here at Memorial Stadium. Gus Johnson, James Curry, and James, interesting first half. Although they're down, the Posse look a little bit better than we thought they would.
They played much better than we thought they would play, Gus, coming into tonight. You know, Baltimore was a heavy favorite coming into the game, but only turnovers have let Vegas down thus far.
And the turnovers occurred almost at the very beginning of the game. As a matter of fact, at the beginning of the game, on the opening kickoff. Take a look at the highlights from the first half.
Well, right off the back, Baltimore got a huge break at the start of the game. Kickoff goes down to Bullock. On the return, a tremendous hit as he was bringing the ball back upfield, and Baltimore came up with the big turnover early. Smith with the hit, put the helmet right on the football, and Baltimore got the big break on the recovery. It didn't take them long after the offense came on the field to realize what they needed to do. And Tracy Ham going to his favorite receiver, Chris Armstrong, right here on a corner route in the corner of the end zone, gives up the first touchdown of the game for Baltimore. Las Vegas found themselves in a hole early.
Chris Armstrong's 14th touchdown of the year.
Then Mike Pringle right here. Tracy Ham mishandled the snap from center, but the present calm veteran that time picked up the ball, got it out to Pringle. He was able to turn the corner. Baltimore with its second touchdown of the first half to take the lead over Las Vegas.
Mike Pringle picks up his second receiving touchdown of the year, and Baltimore leads it at halftime. Your first half statistics, interesting passing yardage for Vegas. They lead the CFLs 220 to 155. Rushing, Baltimore ahead in that category, but the turnovers coming at inopportune times for Las Vegas, equal at 2 apiece, but the Posses were more costly. They like their football ugly here at Memorial Stadium. Their CFLs are on top of Las Vegas, and these are definitely the real fans of Baltimore. They're here no matter what condition that they're in.
Looked like it was a little early for Halloween there, Gus. I mean, the guys out in droves. They call this the largest outdoor insane asylum in North America, and the fans out here really enjoying. And Carlos Wetzel looks like an old throwback ball player right here. He's walking out there without a helmet. If he goes down and covers that kick without one, I'll be very impressed.
Well, James, those are the kinds of things that they say you used to do playing in the CFL. Fearless, go out there, and it didn't really matter.
Fearless, yes. Smarts, yes.
So Huerta delivers. CFL start from the 20. Lester Smith, good return, gets up to the 40. Becton with the tackle. Baltimore plays today against the Posse, and their schedule gets even tougher as time goes by. Next week they'll be at Edmonton to face Damon Allen and the Eskimos. Then BC, Winnipeg, Sacramento, 3 very tough games.
Those top 3 teams in the West are already in the playoffs, and Sacramento has an outside chance for the 4th spot in the West.
Tracy Ham from the 39. Pringle bouncing it outside.
Mike Pringle on the carry.
And he's wrapped up. Tim Brody with the tackle. And the official throws a flag on the play.
Right here we see as they try to run a sweep with Mike Pringle. He cannot get around the corner. Good contained by the Vegas defense, but right here at the last moment, we'll get a shot here at the end of the play, and you'll see the reason for the flag right there. Mike Pringle throws the ball at the defender, and he's going to get an objectionable conduct call by the official.
Objectionable conduct, Baltimore, number 27.
Side judge Bill Lawdy right on the play. Jeff Cummins was the player that Pringle threw the football at.
As well as Mike Pringle has played tonight, you don't think of an unheadsy play in his behalf like that. But a foolish mistake that time at the end of the run by Mike Pringle cost his team 10 valuable yards, 2nd and 20.
Jeff Cummins, perfect example of a player not getting caught. He threw Pringle down pretty hard, and Pringle retaliated, and he was flagged on the play. Tracy Ham finds the receiver underneath. That's Sean Beals with another reception.
Tracy Ham has had a lot of success tonight throwing over the middle against this Las Vegas defense. The offensive line, once again, giving him plenty of time, and he runs just a simple seam route, locked up on the linebacker, Cedric Crawford. Beals should win that matchup every time, and that time he got the ball out to midfield.
Beals' 3rd catch, that one for 25 yards. First down. Ham in trouble, and he's tripped up. Coming up to make the tackle, Shante Peoples. That should be considered a sack, and if it is, it's his 10th, 2nd of the ball game.
That's one of the things that Vegas specializes in, is rushing the quarterback, getting the pressure on picking up the sack. Shante Peoples ran a long ways that time to get the quarterback, Tracy Ham, and dropped him for a 3-yard loss. Will pick up the sack on the play.
Shante Peoples, rookie out of the University of Michigan. And he's doing a good job this year leading the team in sacks. Picks up his 10th there. 2nd and 13. Ham. Wide open receiver. This is Armstrong. Armstrong finally tackled inside the 25-yard line of Vegas.
Chris Armstrong at one point thought that his CFL career might be over when he was released by Las Vegas in training camp. But he called Baltimore's head coach Don Matthews and asked him for a tryout. Matthews indicated to Armstrong if he could still run, he would bring him in. He brought him in. He clocked a 4.40 on grass, and he's been a success and a welcome addition to this offense ever since.
Gain of 35. 1st and 10 from the 23. Pringle. Convoy in front of him, and he plows ahead to the 10-yard line. Jesse Becton in on the tackle.
Gus, the thing about Mike Pringle is that the legs are constantly churning. Watch here as we get a look as he runs off. The guard gets out, gets the block, but Pringle reads the block. Those legs are churning. He runs through those arm tackles before being brought down at the 11-yard line. Keith Ballard getting around the corner, doing a good job for Mike Pringle.
Gain of 13. 1st down and 10. Baltimore still with an opportunity to get a 1st down. It's a 1. Flags all over the place. Ham throwing in the end zone. Touchdown.
Tracy Ham's
Peter Tuipulotu. But there are flags on the play, and this will be called back against Baltimore.
That's in the area where you generally get a holding call.
Holding, Baltimore number 60.
Guy Earl, the left guard, called for holding. 10-yard penalty negates the touchdown.
We get a shot here. The left guard in the center of your screen right here gets those arms too extended, hooks the defensive tackle right there, Anderson, as he goes inside, and the flags come out and the officials catch him.
Very observant by line judge Bruce Hawkshaw, right on top of the play. First down and 20 now for Tracy Ham. Fine time, and he just gets rid of this one. Incomplete. It'll be second down and 20.
Well, Baltimore done a fine job of marching the ball down the field, and now they've gotten into that territory where they're getting penalties. But watch the pressure here on Tracy Ham as he releases the ball. Looked like that could have been a close one right there by Anderson as he arrived maybe a step late on quarterback Tracy Ham, who got up and wasn't pleased with the non-call by the official.
Number 92, Stevie Anderson, was an all-Big West player in 1993 for UNLV. Had 6 sacks his senior year, has 3 sacks this season. Low snap for Ham on second and 20. Goes to the other side of the field, wide open receiver, and Walter Wilson drops the football. Walter Wilson has caught only 5 passes for 61 yards in his last 5 games. He's in a slump. That's a perfect example of it right there.
Watch the athleticism of Tracy Ham as he throws this ball completely back across field, completely against the motion of his body. Walter Wilson was wide open. The cardinal sin of a receiver is that he wants to let the ball get to his body. Extend your hands, make the reception. Walter Wilson let that one hit the shoulder pads, and it bounced out.
Brings on Donald Igwebuike to attempt a 28-yarder. He's 6 for 7 from 20 to 29 yards. Splits the uprights. 10 minutes, 32 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play. 3 points by Donald Igwebuike, 18-9. 18-9 your score, and former Rice linebacker O.J. Brigance does not look at this team as an expansion team. They want to go as far as they can.
One game at a time. That's the only way that I can project it. I don't have a magic crystal ball to be able to look and say, well, we're going to be in the Grey Cup, but I know right now that we control our own destiny. And just as we alluded to earlier, starting with Las Vegas, that's the first game that we have to take care of, and then next game is going to be Edmonton, and then BC, and then Winnipeg. And I think that if we take it one game at a time and realize that each and every game that we play is our championship game, I think that before we know it, we'll find ourselves in Vancouver.
O.J. Brigance was an All-Southwest Conference first-team linebacker for Rice, and his Las Vegas Posse looked very good. Rather, his Baltimore CFLs look very good now against the Las Vegas Posse.
Well, they found themselves in a dogfight here tonight at Memorial Stadium. This Las Vegas team has played very well defensively. Their offense has not been able to capitalize on some key situations in the first half that they were presented with. But here in the second half, they have to learn from the mistakes that they had and be able to march the ball down the field, but be able to finish those drives once they get into the red zone.
Anthony Calvillo, second and 10 from his own 35. Calvillo going for the long ball again as a receiver. This one complete. Michael Stevens out of bounds inside the Baltimore 40. Michael Brooks burned on the play for Baltimore.
When you talk about living on the edge, this Las Vegas team is a perfect example of it. They're not content to play the short game. They're going to challenge you and challenge you deep time and time again. Michael Stevens coming right into your living room right here as Ken Watson slips down on the out and up route. Steven makes the reception down to the 37-yard line. Vegas once again in fine field position and marching.
37-yard reception for Michael Stevens. First down, Volpe does not get back to the line of scrimmage. Ken Benson with the tackle.
Ken Benson has started out where he left off last season in the CFL, being the CFL's leading tackler, the outside linebacker out of the University of Arkansas. Read the play very well as Volpe came up. He stepped up and made the stop once again.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. Calvillo complete at the 15. Curtis Mayfield stays in bounds. And he's written out of bounds by Carl Anthony. And Mayfield makes that catch, and he's been used to getting into the end zone this year. One of the leaders in the CFL. 12 touchdowns. And Armstrong for Baltimore is right in front of him with 14.
And Armstrong has scored the opening touchdown tonight for Baltimore.
Gain of 21. 1st and 10 from the 15. Into the end zone. Flags are on the play. Charles Anthony will be called for pass interference against Mike Stevens, and Anthony is not happy about it.
One of the things that defensive backs do is that they shield the receivers off with that off arm. You'll see the free arm, but watch the right arm of Charles Anthony right here as he's pushing receiver Michael Stevens away from the football, not allowing him to come back to the ball, and that's where the flag was thrown. Intentional interference. Vegas will have the ball at the 1-yard line.
So Vegas, on their first possession of the second half, marching the ball right down the football field.
They've done this a couple times, Gus, but once they've gotten in the red zone, they've shot themselves in the foot.
Trailing 18-9. Must touchdown here. Volpe. And he comes up short. Tracy Gravely with the tackle. The 4th-year player out of Concord College.
Look here at the line of scrimmage. Watch the surge by this Baltimore defensive front as they get across the line of scrimmage, reestablish it right there. Volpe got his head across the goal line, but you got to get the ball across. It's not your body, it's the ball breaking the plane, but the ball is brought back to the 1-yard line in the CFL.
2nd and goal. Volpe, the lone setback. They're going to throw it. This one broken up by the goalpost. Posse continue to struggle getting the ball in the end zone.
A very questionable play call that time by quarterback Anthony Calvillo on 2nd and 1. You have to continue to run the ball. You have to pound it in. You have to trust your offensive line that they can get those guys pushed back. We see Tracy Gravely once again, the outside linebacker, getting a hand on that ball, deflecting it away.
So they're going to go for it on 3rd and goal. Hand off to Volpe. Touchdown, Posse.
Malcolm Goodwin came up from his middle linebacker position, made contact with John Volpe prior to crossing the line of scrimmage, but that leg drive by John Volpe, that low center of gravity, gets him in. Watch right here. We get a perfect angle coming from over the top. Malcolm Goodwin, the middle linebacker, makes the contact with Volpe, but that surge, that leg drive, turning those legs, he breaks the plane of the goal line for Las Vegas' first touchdown tonight.
Carlos Huerta in to attempt the convert. And there are flags on the play. You speak of Volpe's low center of gravity, 5'7", 200 pounds.
You can look him eye to eye, Gus.
I'm a little taller than that.
It's them lifts.
3rd rushing touchdown of the year for the running back out of Stanford.
Baltimore number 3, 5 yards to be applied on the kickoff.
Carl Anthony, the culprit, the left cornerback, trying to get an early jump.
So Huerta will do it again. And it's good. So a 1-yard touchdown from the 1991 CFL Rookie of the Year. John Volpe makes it an 18-16 ball game. 18-16 your score. Baltimore leading Las Vegas, and I may be standing next to a star. James Curry. However, there were some true stars on the football field today. Richard Belzer from the hit show Homicide, an NBC show. Hey, we're here in Baltimore filming, and he took some time to have a little bit of fun with some of the extras. No, those are not football players. And we're back playing ball, but I had a feeling they were going to come up here, James Curry, and ask you to go down there and, you know, be a star in one of the episodes or something like that. I don't know you could.
There was only one or two things I was going to do tonight, Gus. Either go down and be on the TV show or work here with you tonight, and I couldn't pass on that opportunity.
Well, the Posse, their drive covers 7 plays, 75 yards. They score in 3 minutes and 23 seconds.
Back deep to Baltimore, Lester Smith and Mike Pringle.
From the 15, Mike Pringle. And Pringle is met by 2 white jerseys. Jason Madlock with a tough hit. Tough game right now for the Posse, and their schedule doesn't get any easier.
When you look at the Las Vegas Posse remaining schedule, all of those teams right now, if the playoffs were to start tomorrow, would be in the playoffs. So they really have a tough road ahead of them. We get a Crawford right here when we talk about tough roads. Watch the pursuit right here. Coming downfield, slipping down, getting up, comes all the way across the field to get a hit in on Mike Pringle right at the end of that play.
From the 22-yard line for Baltimore, Pringle dragged down from behind. Shante Peoples, another tackle. We've mentioned his name quite often this evening.
The thing about this Las Vegas defense, Gus, is that it's a great pursuing defense. A lot of team speed. They run from sideline to sideline. We get a shot of our ESPN2 cameraman only as the Deuce can do it. Inside edition from our side, our perspective right here, the helmet cam.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Plenty of time for Ham, and he delivers complete. Chris Armstrong over the middle.
Too much time for quarterback Tracy Ham. Sitting in the pocket, untouched, unmolested, just trying to read the coverage there. Finally finding Chris Armstrong, his favorite receiver, coming over the middle, picking up a big gain out to the 45-yard line.
19-yard gain for Chris Armstrong out of Fayetteville State. He was the 1987 MVP of the Port City Classic in the CIAA.
Mike Pringle on the carry, stopped by Steven Anderson.
Taking defenders with him. Picks up 7.
Pringle, that all-purpose back, doing everything tonight for the Baltimore CFLers, returning kicks, catching passes out of the backfield, and then on that last play, picking up 6 yards on just a straight wedge blocking right up the middle.
2nd down, 4 yards to go. Flags on the play. Pringle again out of the backfield, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 50, but this one will come back. A legal procedure called against Baltimore. Receiver on the far side of the field.
Tracy Ham right there showing a little disgust, knowing he had the situation that he wanted. Mike Pringle, a mismatch on a linebacker, and his team being caught for offsides on the play. Looked like both tackles right there got caught in motion, but Mike Pringle had picked up the first down, but now it's 2nd and 10.
Close game from Memorial Stadium. 4:49 remaining in the 3rd quarter, 18-16. Baltimore on top of Vegas. This is for Walter Wilson. Wilson makes the grab on fingertips inside the 45 of the Posse.
Some redemption for Walter Wilson, but this one could be called back once again. A flag in the backfield. Tracy Ham right there had his receiver open in the flat.
Baltimore number 60, 2nd down repeated.
Guy Earl picks up his 2nd holding call of the game.
Guy Earl not too pleased about getting his name called here at Memorial Stadium. Normally, the only distinction that an offensive lineman will get during the game is when his name is called in a holding penalty. He can go all night long doing a fine job against defensive linemen, keeping them off of his quarterback, opening up gaping holes for his running back. But let him get caught for one penalty, everyone in the house knows who did it.
Guy Earl, his holding penalty negates a 20-yard gain by Walter Wilson, and he plays right alongside his twin brother, John Earl. Two sets of twins on this Baltimore club, the Earls and the Goodwins. Malcolm and Matt Goodwin, John and Guy Earl.
Illegal procedure in Baltimore. Second down repeated.
They had their choice that time. Sharp Podanish, the left offensive tackle, Neil Fort, the right offensive tackle. Both moved prematurely prior to the snap, and it cost Baltimore 5 more yards. So we're looking at a 2nd and 24.
Two brothers right next to each other, 60 and 63. And Guy Earl has accounted for a number of the penalties this evening. And there's another flag. Complete. Walter Wilson out of bounds, though. Neil Fort, number 66, the right tackle, will be called for holding, and he's livid on the play.
Neil Fort, named by his teammates Big Country, right there, because rather, is very livid about the official making that call on him.
Baltimore number 66 declined 3rd down.
Neil Fort, a 6th-round draft pick with the Los Angeles Rams. First team all-WAC out of BYU, and his team goes off the field. Don Matthews not showing the emotion. And here's a look at it. You tell me.
Very questionable call right here on the holding as he got caught up inside. Didn't really look like it, but he went high, but the defender rolled out of it, and Baltimore is self-destructing right here with the penalties.
Miller at the 16. This one off the side of his foot. Shanks it. Anthony Blue falls on the football. So with 3 minutes and 33 seconds left in the 3rd quarter of play, your score 18-16. Back at Memorial Stadium, Neil Fort called for holding, but he may have a reason to complain about the call.
Very questionable call by the officials. We'll get a look at the top of your screening right here. Fort here is the offensive lineman we're looking at. But watch as the defender come around the corner. He will lose his footing. If we can get a freeze right here, this is the cover right here, but watch as he goes, roll it here, and he'll just lose his footing. That is not a holding right there. That's just the defender losing his footing, trying to round the corner.
Neil Fort very upset after that penalty was called against him.
And offensive linemen don't like to be called for holding penalties. He had a valid complaint that time, working hard out there, had an advantage on the defensive end. The defensive end went down, and he got called for a poor penalty on a good play.
Head linesman is Bill Hardcourt. Calvillo stretching it out, and it's incomplete. Beautiful attempt by Curtis Mayfield. And Las Vegas continues to go for the long ball.
Once again, living on the edge, Las Vegas first down, going deep, not content to pick their way down the field, wanting to go for it all. A great effort by Curtis Mayfield coming up short right here on an almost reception of working against Irvin Smith. Goes up high, goes over Smith's back, but the ball came down on Smith's helmet, jarred him loose.
Calvillo, 10 of 22, 284 yards, 1 interception. This one over the middle. In and out of the hands of Robert Claiborne.
When you have a quarterback who wants to throw deep on every play, eventually the defensive line will tee off and come at him. Get a shot of Alfred Payton from the bottom of your screen right here. Gets the shot on Calvillo. Your quarterback cannot afford to get that many shots during the game. It would wear him down. He's a young man. He's not accustomed to playing this many games in a season in his rookie year.
Robbie Keane from the 31.
Bobby Keane on the punt for Vegas.
High spiraling kick, fielded at the 25. This is Lester Smith. Smith breaks it outside and is finally dragged out of bounds by David Hollis inside Vegas territory. Well, ESPN2's coverage of the IHL takes you to the Motor City, where the Vipers host the Fort Wayne Comets at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. IHL hockey on the Deuce.
We get a great shot of the return right here by Lester Smith as he sets up his blocking, reads it, breaks it out to the left sideline, takes it up, nice return out to the 53-yard line, dives out of bounds. Great reaction as he gets his team great field position right across midfield.
31-yard return for Lester Smith. Gets Baltimore inside of Vegas territory, and on first down, they go to Mike Pringle. And Pringle just charges straight ahead and picks up 6.
You can never say quit about Mike Pringle, but you also have to take your hat off to this Baltimore offensive line that has given him the room to run in tonight. They've done a good job of pushing back that Las Vegas defensive line, reestablishing the line of scrimmage. 207 total yards tonight, 89 rushing, and also, more important, he scored a touchdown tonight.
High snap. Ham handles it over the middle. Incomplete, intended for Sean Beals. But Tim Brody comes up and tackles him. Football pops out.
Well, Ham tried to force this one into coverage as the pass rush got close to him. Tried to throw that right between two defenders, and Tim Brody was there to bat that one away at the last moment.
So the Las Vegas defense comes up with a stand, and with 1 minute and 38 seconds remaining in the third quarter, Vegas will get the football back, trailing 18-16. And our reporter, Josh Miller, who's probably going to try to take our jobs, standing.
Should have put a helmet mic on it.
Inside his own territory. Miller letting it go from the 50. This one goes into the end zone. And David Hollis will take one knee and give up the single point.
The reason for giving up the single in this situation is field position. It's a 3-point game now with Baltimore leading 19-16. The ball will come back out to the 35-yard line, and that's a big single for Baltimore, but also the trade of field position for Las Vegas. If he had to return that ball, they might have been starting from within the 15-yard line, so you gain at least 20 yards of field position in this situation.
49-yard punt by Josh Miller. Picks up the single. 19-16 ball game now. Posse start from their own 35. Volpe. And Tracy Gravely comes out of his linebacker position and makes a good tackle.
Gravely that time was not fooled. Las Vegas had been going to the deep pass on the previous 2 possessions on first down, but this time they try to hand off to Volpe as he tries to get her off the corner, but Gravely stays at home, able to extend himself, make the tackle for no gain on the play.
2nd and 10 from the 35. Flags on the play. And Calvillo slides down at the 40.
Aubrey Thompson, the fullback, looked to be the culprit on that play as he tackled Alfred Payton, who blitzed inside from his linebacker position. Number 36.
Holding. Las Vegas number 36. Decline. 3rd down.
Thompson, the fullback, caught on the play. Payton had a clear shot at the quarterback, Avilo. He was trying to protect his quarterback, and it cost him. But nevertheless, the penalty was declined, and they're going to be forced to punt the ball.
Brings on Robbie Keane. Averaging 38 yards a punt. His 3rd punt of the evening. At the 25. Gets this one high into the air. Smith from the 31. Ball pops out. Fortunate bounce for the Baltimore squad. Sheldon Canley at the right place at the right time. So that is the end of the third quarter of play. Baltimore leading Las Vegas 19-16. They'll be on offense when we come back. We've gone through 3 quarters, 1 remaining, and Lester Smith fumbles the football, but he must be living right because Baltimore hangs on.
It's the shot. The helmet's put right on the football there by Eric Greeter. But Sheldon Canley, Johnny on the spot, alert, picks up the loose ball out of the air, retains possession for Baltimore.
Lester Smith has had a solid game, running back kicks and playing in the Baltimore secondary. Fumbles the ball, but fortunately, the CFLs hang on to it. Here's Pringle. Tackled at the 25, Maurice Kelly. And one thing about Pringle, he never is tackled on first contact.
He is not. He is such a determined runner once he gets his hands on the ball. Early in his CFL career, he started with the Edmonton Eskimos, and what made his stay in Edmonton so short was that he had a case of fumbleitis. He was very prone to putting the ball on the ground, and the coaching staff there at that time didn't feel that they could take the chance in letting him develop.
Tracy Ham completing to Robert Clark at the 40. Robert Clark tackled by Eric Jeter.
Now, Robert Clark's here in the trip formation, the bottom receiver at the bottom of the screen there, and he just floats out towards the sideline. He's very accustomed in playing in the trip set. He was part of that original run-and-shoot offense that started with the Detroit Lions in the NFL before going to Toronto and coming over to Baltimore this year.
Robert Clark, another player out of the CIAA, North Carolina Central. On first down, Pringle runs the football again. He comes into this ball game. The last 5 ball games, 4 of them, he's rushed for 100 yards. He has 6 100-yard games on the year. So Mike Pringle is on pace to get his 7th this year. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Shante Peoples with the pressure. Ham fires out to the far side, and he puts it right on the money to Chris Armstrong.
It's almost a given that when Tracy Ham is in a little bit of trouble that he's going to find Chris Armstrong. These two has worked so well together tonight and on the season. He's his favorite target as Ham rolled left. Armstrong came across the middle, got into that open spot. Ham hit him with the perfect strike.
3rd and 7 from the 44. Rather first down, this is Pringle. Pringle tackled hard. David Hollis just nails him and knocks him backwards, but he does pick up the first down and an additional 5 yards.
Mike Pringle with great explosion right here. He gets the handoff deep, reads his blocking. They cave down the left side of that offensive line there. Pringle explodes up the middle. Hollis greets him after a gain down to the 42-yard line. But the thing about that, you have to make that play kick consistently. If you're going to showboat, you don't want to be down on the scoreboard.
Pick up a 20. 1st and 10 from the 42. This one almost intercepted. Maurice Kelly diving over a receiver, but was unable to hang on to the football.
Sean Beals had gone down on that play. Maurice Kelly made a great reaction because once Beals had lost his footing, that ball was up for grabs, and as he went after the ball, he tripped over Beals, and he was not able to make the interception.
Brings up a 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd down and 10 yards to go from the Las Vegas 42. They send 3 receivers to the far side of the football field. Pressure on Ham. He gets it off, and it's complete. Chris Armstrong, yet another catch, close to the first down marker.
It's almost like a deja vu scenario. Tracy Ham loves to roll left. He throws the ball as well as any quarterback in the CFL when he's rolling left. And his favorite target, once again, Chris Armstrong, making the diving reception, sliding out of bounds for another first down on the drive.
Gain of 11. First and 10 from the 31. Out of the shotgun. Delayed handoff to Pringle. And Pringle is met by a slew of white jerseys. Jeff Cummins leading the way for the Posse.
Baltimore has had much success tonight running that counter to the right side.
And you have to compliment Tracy Ham because in the CFL, the quarterbacks call the plays, and he's done a good job mixing it up.
He calls all of his own plays. He really doesn't get any assistance from the sideline. He's a seasoned veteran. He's been around the CFL a long time, and he recognizes everything that you throw at him.
2nd and 5. Incomplete. Ham had a wide open receiver, Sean Beals, but he throws the ball behind him.
I think on that play that Sean Beals recognized David Hollis was right in the middle of the field and had him lined up. And if he made that reception, who knows what may have occurred.
So that brings on Donald Igwebuike.
And now on to home.
Ball spotted at the 26-yard line.
Picking number 11.
34-yard field goal attempt. For the man in Baltimore they call Iggy. He's 5 of 6 from 30 to 39 yards out.
Iggy's picking up.
Igwebuike splits the uprights. 10 minutes, 31 seconds remaining. Baltimore gets 3 more from Igwebuike. They lead it 22-16. 22-16 your score, 10:31 remaining in the final quarter of play. Well, ESPN wraps up its coverage of the IndyCar circuit with the season finale from Laguna Seca, California. It's the Toyota Grand Prix of Monterey featuring the Bank of America 300 live on ESPN this Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And there is finality indeed. Mario Andretti will end his illustrious career at Laguna Seca.
Gus, you know, we look at it tonight. We've had a heck of a football game tonight defensively, especially both of these teams have been very stingy defensively. They come up with the big plays. They've been able to keep each other's team out of the end zone when they've gotten down in the red zone. We get a shot at the Posse's defense over here, taking a breather after that last series of forcing Baltimore to take a field goal.
From the 35 for the Posse. Draw play, Volpe.
John Volpe on the carry.
Continues to go forward. Takes 3 defenders to tackle him. Mike Kerr with the tackle.
You know, a perfect example of what we were talking about. Watch the Baltimore defenders here as they collapse down on the running play, swarm around John Volpe, wrap him up, take him to the ground. That's gang tackling. That's team defense the way that it should be played.
John Volpe, 14 carries, 41 yards. Gains 4 on the last play. 2nd down, 6. Flags. Could be a holding. Prince Wembley with the reception. Enough for the first down as he gets close to midfield.
But once again, Gus, a holding penalty will negate the play by Las Vegas and bring them back and put them in a second and very long situation.
Holding, Las Vegas, number 61. 2nd down repeated.
Tom Beckes, the left offensive tackle. Watch the bottom of your screen right here, working against O.J. Brigance as he gets the hook on him, as he turns the corner, and the official right there looking him right in the face, throws the flag.
They'll march it 10 yards back. Posse will have 2nd and 16 from their own 29.
2nd and 16, Vegas.
The long ball. Calvillo unloads, and this one goes out of bounds. And you have to think, Calvillo, you would think that he would make a smarter play than that.
Well, that's been the problem with the Vegas offensive scheme all night long, Gus, is their unwillingness to compromise and nitpick up and down the field. Nickel and dime the defense, take the short passes, pick them up. You see Coach Ron Meyer right there talking with his young quarterback, but the plays are coming in from the sideline. They have to help him out, put him in a more comfortable situation where he can take the short, safe passes.
High spiraling kick by Robbie Keane. Fielded at the 35 by Lester Smith. Smith takes it straight up the field. Craig Gibson with the tackle. 8:50 remaining. 22-16 your score. (22-16), and you're taking a look at the guy they call Big Cuz, Neil Ford, and he'll tell you this is an important football game for Baltimore.
It means a lot to us. The fact of getting the 10 wins is important, and the fan support is important on that aspect, and just another step towards the Grey Cup. Like you said, October is a big month for the CFL. A lot of teams play their best football in the month of October, and this is important for us because it's just in the month of October, and it's crucial to win.
Neil Ford, out of BYU, 6th-round draft pick of the Los Angeles Rams, first team all-WAC, bench presses over 500 pounds. Mike Pringle and Big Cuz Neil Ford with a good block. Mike Pringle, his 13th rush of the game, and he goes over the 100-yard mark. His 7th 100-yard game of the year.
Watch right here as Big Cuz, number 66, Neil Ford, pulls around from his right tackle position, kicks out for Mike Pringle as he turns up and picks up 5 yards on the run.
104 yards rushing for Mike Pringle, and that must please Don Matthews on the sidelines. And here's Pringle again, spinning, going over the left side. Jesse Becton with the tackle, but Pringle picks up the first down.
Following Perdonish and early on that left side of the offensive line, this is what a ball control offense will do for you late in the game when you need to churn away at that clock and eat up some time. Mike Pringle is the guy to get it done.
Gain of 9, 1st and 10 from the Vegas 50. Ham, very elusive, and throws it away, but Tracy Ham, like a magician there, he must have dodged 3 or 4 tackles.
You know, when you speak about a Mike Pringle, an all-around ball player, watch right here as he steps up, gets the block for Tracy Ham to buy him a little extra time trying to find a receiver downfield, and Ham takes a shot after getting that ball away, but if not for Mike Pringle, he would have taken a sack on that play.
Mike Pringle blocking number 39, Tim Brody. Makes it 2nd down and 10 from the 50. Out of the shotgun. Ham trying to go underneath, but it's incomplete.
That time,
Chris Armstrong, the intended receiver.
That time a poorly thrown pass by quarterback Tracy Ham. Chris Armstrong went down trying to get that, and he was sliding, trying to slow down his momentum, and that time the ball was just behind him.
6-point ball game. 22-16. Las Vegas will get it again. David Hollis standing back at the 10.
On the punt, Josh Miller.
And Josh Miller punting this one off the side of his foot. Goes out of bounds. Terrible punt by Josh Miller.
Gus,
and Vegas catches a break.
If he keeps kicking like that, only a 10-yard punt, that little skit that he did at the start of the game might put our jobs in jeopardy.
10-yard punt by Josh Miller. So Anthony Calvillo with 6 minutes, 53 seconds remaining in the ball game, and his team trailing by 6 will get the ball with great field position at his own 44.
Now, will the young quarterback be patient enough and not be so greedy to try to go for it all in a couple plays?
And he starts off going short. Curtis Mayfield hauls in the football. Ken Watson with the tackle.
That's what Anthony Calvillo needs to do more of. The quick 3-step drop fire the ball out in the flat to his receiver. We get a perfect example of it right here. 3-step drop, puts the ball on a rope out to Curtis Mayfield. He turns upfield, picks up 2 more yards, put him in a 2nd and short situation.
Gain of 9, 2nd and 1. Volpe picks up the first down. Tracy Gravely with the tackle.
Gus, when you put yourself in a 2nd and short situation, it gives your offense so many more options to be effective with. Anthony Cavale that time had the option of handing the ball off to Volpe or even keeping the ball on a bootleg himself. Let's see if he can continue to do those things.
And just looking at his numbers, if he were to add the short passing game to his repertoire, his numbers would definitely increase. Going for the home run again, and it's incomplete. Curtis Mayfield, the intended receiver, had at least 2 steps on the defender.
Impatience all night with the Las Vegas offense. Right here, he takes only a 3-step drop. If you're going to throw deep, you got to go deeper than that because those defensive linemen can still tee off on you. But what you do in this situation now you have a 2nd and 10. Your options become very limited.
2nd and long for the Posse from the 55. The blitz. Cavio gets it off. Incomplete pass, though. Prince Wembley unable to hold on, and Anthony Calvillo gets up slowly.
Vegas once again, the quarterback under immense amount of pressure on a series that started out so promising for Las Vegas. Once again, Calvillo not willing to go short on first down. That time maybe his ankle gave out on him, rolled up on him, and he's down having examined on the sideline.
Robbie Keane prepares to send it away from the 41. They expected 35,000 in attendance this evening. The official number, 34,186. Good crowd on him. Here's Anthony from his own 20. Anthony stopped by Craig Gibson. 4:47 remaining. Time running out for the Posse. Baltimore will be on offense when we come back. Under 5 minutes remaining in the contest. Baltimore a 6-point lead. And head coach Ron Meyer, you don't know what's going through his mind right now. James Curry, if you were coaching this team, what would you do?
You have to find a way to get more pressure on quarterback Tracy Ham. Probably by the blitz. Shante People is your big rush guy on the end right here, but he's working against a 340-pound offensive tackle. Maybe you want to send a backer up, Tim Brody, up the middle to get some pressure off of Peoples where he can turn that corner and get Tracy Ham down on the turf.
Peoples has 2 sacks on the evening, 10 total this year. And he has been in Tracy Ham's face
1st and 10
all night.
Baltimore.
4:41 and counting. Pringle.
Mike Pringle on the carry, stopped by Jeff Sawyer.
Brody on the bottom of the pile. And they really believe that here in Baltimore, the expansion team. The Baltimore fans think that they can not only get to the Grey Cup, but they can win it. And James Curry, as a veteran in the CFL, can they do it?
This is a well-rounded team that has the potential to go all the way. We've seen some consistency in this team at times. Tonight they've broken down, but to have a 9-4 record in your inaugural season, you get a lot of praise for that.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Ham out of the shotgun. Over the middle, complete. Sean Beals, another reception. Baltimore has had a lot of success noticing the soft spot underneath.
And that's the key. Look at the quads. The 4 receivers left at the bottom of your screen. Sean Beals, the 4th man in, just breaks it over the middle, gets behind linebacker Tim Brody. In front of safety, David Hollis picks up the first down. Now it's 1st and 10, and you have a Mike Pringle in the backfield. You're running and run more time off of the clock.
Gain of 18. First down from the 48. 3:15 remaining. They run the ball. Pringle met at the line of scrimmage. Donnie Robinson coming up out of his left halfback spot to make the tackle. We're at the 3-minute warning. Your score is 22-16. We'll be back with the end after this. (22-16). You're looking into the eyes of the focal point of the Baltimore offense, Mike Pringle, and he came into this game leading the league in rushing, and another great performance this evening. 122 yards, his 6th 100-yard game of the year.
And just like the logo on the helmet, he's been a workhorse all night long. In the CFL, you look at the score, 22-16. This is an unusually low-scoring game when you look at the CFL numbers that are put up. Baltimore averaging 31 points a game. Las Vegas averaging 29. These two teams have a lot of offensive firepower, but it's been a defensive struggle tonight.
Clock starting to work against Vegas. They need the ball back desperately. Big play here, 2nd and 8. They flip it out to Pringle, and Pringle stays on his feet. Mike Pringle finally brought down. Jesse Becton with the tackle, and Vegas with 2 minutes 38 seconds remaining, trailing by 6 points, will finally get the football back.
And 2.5 minutes to go on a CFL game is an eternity. Las Vegas, that swarming defense, Mike Pringle ran about 80 yards on that play and ended up losing 4 on that pass reception. But the thing about Vegas, once they take possession of the football, will they be patient?
Josh Miller, his last punt, 10 yards. He needs to deliver a good one here, standing at his own 30.
David Hollis back deep from Vegas.
Not a very good kick. Off the side of his foot again, but he gets a kind bounce. Out of bounds inside the 25.
And that kick came very close to being blocked on that play. Maurice Kelly came straight up the middle and almost got a hand on it.
42-yard kick by Josh Miller. So with 2 minutes, 17 seconds remaining in the game, Coach Ron Myers sends out his rookie quarterback from Utah State, Anthony Calvillo.
And as Calvillo, if he's learned anything all night long, Gus, he has to be patient on this drive. He has the ball at the 23-yard line. There's a lot of field that he has to work with. He cannot get it all in one play. This Baltimore defense is going to lay back in this situation. He's going to have a lot of underneath area to work with.
Both of these teams are expansion clubs, but there are big differences when you look at Baltimore and when you look at Vegas. Baltimore has veteran players, and as far as Vegas is concerned, they have a lot of guys coming right out of college.
Baltimore wanted to have the nucleus of their team be veteran CFL players, and when the game was close and on the line, you had players who knew how to win in this league. Vegas wanted to build a team based on speed and aggressiveness, and the veteran players have paid off for Baltimore.
Calvillo starts from his own 23. Over the middle, incomplete. Almost intercepted. Flag on the far side of the field at the 40. Prince Wembley, the 5'9", 176 rookie out of Alabama, dropped the football.
And Carl Anthony, number 3, the left cornerback, looks to be the culprit. This is a very tough call for Baltimore.
Illegal contact on an eligible receiver. Baltimore number 3, first down.
Carl Anthony has played a very aggressive game tonight. He likes to play that bump and run. That time he bumped too long and he was called for it.
First down, they move the ball up to the 33. Over the middle again, and for the second straight play, Prince Wembley drops the football.
Sometimes quarterbacks like to come back to receivers who drop a pass, and that time Calvillo came back to Prince Wembley, and 2 plays in succession, he let the young quarterback down on a very catchable ball on that play.
That makes it second down and long again. for rookie quarterback Anthony Calvillo. Pressure. Complete. But Michael Stevens was unable to pick up the first down. He's tackled at the 40-yard line by Michael Brooks. That brings up a huge third down play. What do you do?
This game hinges on this play right here. You have a very mobile young quarterback. What you want to do is get him outside, get him the run-pass option. So look for a possible bootleg here by Calvillo.
Third down and 3. Biggest play of the game. Calvillo going long. Complete at the 40. Prince Wembley makes up for dropping 2 passes with the big gain, and the drive stays alive for the Las Vegas Posse.
I guess the pressure was not enough on Prince Wembley on the prior 2 drop passes that he had, but Calvillo has lived by the long ball all night long. Once again, he opens up and he goes deep to Wembley, and he comes up with the big reception.
Calvillo showing confidence in his wide receiver. Gain of 31 from the 38-yard line. Up top again, incomplete. Intended for Curtis Mayfield, but Carl Anthony was there and played good defense.
And this Baltimore defensive front is getting closer and closer to the quarterback, Calvillo. That time, Alfred Payton was just a stride away. But once again, Gus, you still have to question. You had success on the third down call, but you have a first down. Pick up some medium yardage. Get your team moved down closer to the first down yardstick.
A minute, 22 seconds left in this ball game. Calvillo, 14 of 31, 338 yards. They run the draw. Volpe fumbles the ball. Baltimore has it.
Robert Pressberry on the fumble recovery that time. The big play by the Baltimore defense. Volpe looked like he had a hole right, breaking it to the outside, but decided to come back inside. Took a big hit, put the ball on the ground. Pressberry recovered. We get a perfect shot of it here. Watch Volpe. If he stays to the outside, he has a lane, but he decided to come back inside. Malcolm Goodwin, the middle linebacker, puts the hat on the football. Robert Pressberry, the defensive tackle, dives in, gets the fumble recovery, and that should be enough to put Las Vegas away with a minute 13 to go in the game.
Pressberry's second fumble recovery, and to the dismay of Ron Meyer, it looks like his team will fall to 5-9 on the year. On first down, Mike Pringle runs. But remember, in the Canadian Football League, the clock will stop on every play during this time.
And Vegas just utilized their one timeout of the second half after that play. So the Baltimore is going to be forced to run one more play. And we see Robert Pressberry there after the fumble recovery.
Robert Pressberry holds on to that football. He was the player of the year at Delaware State in 1987 in the MEAC Conference. And head coach Ron Meyer can't believe what he's seeing, but you got to have a feeling that when you have a young team like this, especially an expansion team, situations like this occur.
But time and time again tonight, Las Vegas had the opportunity to make something happen. But that youthfulness that they have on the team, that lack of experience, knowing how to capitalize on key situations, has cost them tonight.
Meyer will ask the defense to come up big again on 2nd and 7. Tracy Ham scrambling out of the pocket, and he picks up the first down. Tracy Ham, using his running ability when his team needs it most, picks up a first down. Last week, he rushed for 83 yards. That play big here.
Such a valuable weapon for this Baltimore offense. He got outside. Shante People forced him to pull down the ball, but he had the presence of mind to go up the middle of the field, find the soft spot, pick up the first down, and slide safely to the turf.
45 seconds remaining in the game. From the 53, Pringle goes down. Jeff Sawyer with the tackle. And the clock stops at 36.
There's no quit in this Vegas defense. They're still playing just as aggressive here with 36 seconds to go as they did in the first quarter. Jeff Sawyer with the big hit on Mike Pringle. But it may not be enough time, Gus, with 35 seconds to go.
And you know Ron Meyer will turn this team around. He's won everywhere he's gone. 27-8 at UNLV. 34, 32-1 at SMU. 18-15 with New England, and 36-35 with the Indianapolis Colts. He was the AFC Coach of the Year in 1988. And they decide to take one knee. 15 seconds remaining in the ball game. Brings up 3rd down and 12 from the 54-yard line.
What Baltimore has done tonight, Gus, is guarantee themselves a playoff game. They will host a playoff game in the first round of the CFL playoffs this year, starting on November the 12th.
And Tracy Ham takes one knee, and that is the end of your ball game. We had a great one here from Memorial Stadium. Your final score, the CFLs beat Las Vegas 22-16. We'll be back in a moment to wrap things up from Memorial Stadium. Back at Memorial Stadium in the great city of Baltimore, and your final score, the Baltimore CFLs beat the Posse 22-16. And welcome back, folks. Gus Johnson, James Curry with you, and James, heck of a ball game, went down to the wire.
Very exciting ball game, Gus. When you look at it, you came in expecting a big offensive explosion tonight, but two great defensives showed up, and we're going to have the star of the game, Tracy Ham, who was able to pull this one out in the waning moments.
And joining us now, the quarterback from Baltimore out of Georgia Southern, Tracy Ham. And Tracy, great game by your team. It must be good to win this one.
Thank you very much. I think it was a collective effort. Vegas has a program that's certainly on the uprise. They play real tough defense. They look very well on offense. I think we just put a team effort together, and that's the only way we can win with the group of guys we got. Everybody have to contribute and do their job.
And this was a game of big plays, especially for you, Tracy. And in the fourth quarter, needing a first down, you took it upon yourself to get out of the pocket, make something happen, and get the first down for your team.
Well, my leg's been banged up a little early in the season, and as they come back, I'll get to be able to run around a little more and help take some of the pressure off my guys up front. They did a good job, and, certainly I have to contribute running the ball as well as throwing the ball, because I think it takes a lot of pressure off not only my up front guys, but Mike Pringle also.
Tracy, you got the big break early in the game on the opening kickoff when Bullock fumbled the ball for Las Vegas, and you were able to come out and on the second play of the game hit Chris Armstrong with that opening touchdown. Did you think that you'd be able to strike so quickly against Las Vegas tonight?
Well, I think it's important that we turn turnovers into points, because that gives us a lift not only from an offensive standpoint of view, but a defensive standpoint of view also, because they know if they give us the ball in that kind of field position, nothing less than 7 points would do, because it's such a big lift when you put the 7 on the board instead of settling for the field goal.
Tracy, the playoffs will come to Baltimore. You must be a happy camper, because this expansion team has just defeated the odds, getting in the playoffs, and you guys will actually host a game.
Well, it's been a good situation from day one. Spiros has done a good job. Matthews has done a good job with his coaching staff, putting the staff together that understands the game. And he went out and got talented athletes, and I think that's the reason why we're where we're at today.
Tracy, thanks for joining us. Good game, 277 yards passing. Now, James Curry, let's take a look at some of the highlights that made this one a special one.
Well, it was a big game for Baltimore, and the key was the turnovers. Right here, we get a look at that Chris Armstrong touchdown that started the game right here. And it came after that opening kickoff fumble, and Baltimore got on the board early, and that led to much of their success tonight. We get Mike Pringle. Tracy Ham mishandled the snap, but had the presence of mind to pick up the ball. He knew where Mike Pringle would be, got the ball to him for the second touchdown of the night for Baltimore.
Mike Pringle, his 6th 100-yard rushing game this year, and here are your standings. Baltimore on top of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, a 10-4 record as the playoffs are coming. Meanwhile, in the West, Calgary, BC, and Edmonton lead the pack out there, and things continue to be tight in the Western Division. Now, speaking of the West, next week. Join us right here as Toronto travels to Sacramento to face the Sacramento Gold Miners, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday. Your final score here, 22-16, Baltimore defeats the Las Vegas Posse. They improved to 10-4 on the year. Las Vegas falls to 5-9, but there will be playoff action right here in Baltimore on November 12th. For James Curry, I'm Gus Johnson. So long, everybody, from Baltimore.